They have an excellent bench, a lot of veteran players that can defend and also rebound the ball.
Teague in his third year out of Wake Forest. Goes to Smith. He starts the game with a jumper. Josh Smith, as he showed you at the top, now is 8th year in the league, just 26 years old.
Well, he can be a defensive factor, not just with rebounding and shot blocking, but with steals and then igniting the fast break.
Miami won on Friday at Washington. 106-89 was the final. Game was a bit closer than that throughout, although Miami was never really challenged as Smith is fouled by Bosch.
The thing that I like about Chris Bosh this year is that he's been totally solid. When you say 19 points a game, he's shooting over 50%, 51. You're saying rebounding, he's right there at 8 a game. You foul him, he goes to the line, he shoots 82%. He's having a solid year.
Here's what you're talking about, Hubie, with his consistency all those years in Toronto. On some of those Toronto teams, he's the guy who had to do the scoring. Here on a better team, his number's still up.
And it was difficult for him last year fitting in when you say, hey, I'm playing with 2 first-team All-NBA performers, you know, with Wade and LeBron James, plus it's a new offense for me. I thought by playoff time, he played his best basketball throughout the playoffs.
And remember how honest he was with us last year?
Yes.
He said week after week, every time we saw him, I'll be better next season. Well, thus far it is next season, and he's been better. Marvin Williams coming baseline. And the 6-time All-Star Joe Johnson circulates it around. There's Williams, good shooting. This is the 3, and here comes the Heat. Transition has been right at the top of the page for Eric Spoelstra's offense this year. And they've been a terrific team in transition because of guys like that, Wade, who couldn't get to the other side of the rim.
Well, anytime that you have 2 guys in the top 6 points in the paint, meaning LeBron and Wade, you got to stop them in the painted area.
Great trade of coverage. James Wade cleans it up for 2.
Now, for young people out there right now, you play the game of basketball, never assume that a star is going to score a layup at the other end. Wade followed, and then you had 3 guys going to the rim. Wayne is the beneficiary.
Josh Smith from the outside knocks down that jumper, often criticized for his shot selection. You see a lot of them living here in Atlanta.
Yes.
Do you like the way his game has improved this year?
I think Larry Drew's done a good job sitting him down, Mike, explaining to him range. The fact that he's staying within 15 to 18 feet, driving to the basket, that's why the shooting percentage is up, and then also his all-around game is there.
And LeBron, whose shooting percentage is at a career high, 54%. That's 7th in the league. And as you get many Miami Heat games, lots of Miami fans cheering for the Heat on the road. Joe Johnson with the hoop. He's top 20 in the league and scoring again, 18.5 a game.
Well, he's not just a perimeter guy. You got to guard him down on the baseline when they run him off the screens, on that, especially on that baseline screen.
Bosch has the size on Marvin Williams, working on him here in the post. Good help defense. And here comes Jeff Teague. Smith, that nobody stopped the ball, and 6 points early for Josh.
That's what he can do. And for a guy 6'10", he's one of the quicker guys we have in the league. He went from 250 pounds his first 7 years to 225 this year, and he is quick with the basketball.
Wade with a good move behind the back, ties the game at 8.
Yeah, I'm surprised at Pichula. Pichula, when he's in there, he usually attacks. I thought he should have got to the shot block right there.
Zaza, career 7-point-a-game guy, giving that to the Hawks in the starting role now. As the 3 is knocked down by Jeff Teague, who's top 15 in the league, shooting 3s this year.
Mike, he's shooting it at 45%. When he came in this league, that was a major weakness.
Stay down here with Miami.
You know what I liked about that? We just had the triangle offense. All right, now here you got a double team on Joe Johnson, set up behind the 3-point line. Teague is having a banner year this year. Yeah, only 12 points a game, but he's shooting at 48% and then 45 in threes.
Off the Bosch miss. Teague with push. Finds Johnson. Smith lost it. Johnson cleaned it up.
Now this is one of the areas that Miami has got to shore up, and that is the defensive rebound. You can hurt them there. Teams are averaging 11-plus offensive rebounds and hurting them in the paint.
Wade knocks down a deuce.
I mean, are we seeing someone in here or what? I mean,
Would you like a little more defense?
I mean, is anyone near anyone here so far or what?
Teams have combined for 10 for 17 here out of the gate, and the sideline step by Marvin Williams turns it over.
Does anyone have 2 fouls yet? I mean, yeah.
One guy who has 1 foul. You have a problem with that?
A little bit. A little bit, because we're talking about 2 of the better teams in the East there.
Yeah, we are. So the Atlanta team that has the 7th best record in the NBA. How many people would guess that?
That's right.
4th year in the East. Even in the loss column with the Bulls after Chicago's loss earlier today on ABC to start NBA Sunday. Teague reaching in as LeBron was backing down, and the foul's called on the Hawks. Here's what we're talking about. In the East, Chicago losing to the Celtics on that great effort by Rondo. Philadelphia, outstanding team. Doug Collins' group. I mentioned Indiana, who Miami sees at the end of this back-to-back-to-back. Frank Vogel has that club 17-10.
Yeah, we have some nice play with Philadelphia and Indiana. Both of them have done a nice job out on the road, and that's been terrific. Now, the Atlanta Hawks, how about they started the season with 9 games in 12 days, and they played a lot of plus 500 teams. I give them a lot of credit to be where they are. Unfortunately for them, they came home within the last 2 weeks, and they lost 3 straight home games after having a great road trip.
Kind of odd the way their season's gone, and the fact that they're 9-5 on the road and won their last 4 games. Kind of did a double take when you look at they lost to Phoenix, Philly, and Memphis, all here in Atlanta. Smith short on the shot, James in transition.
Now, if you're going to beat Miami, you've got to stop them doing this. They're a transition game.